have been added. Art Harris, investigative journalist, joining us, artharris.com. Art, what's the latest?
The latest, Nancy, is that unbeknownst to Misty Crosland, 2 more charges were filed against her for drug trafficking, adding $400,000 to her bond, bringing that to a total of $1.35 million that it will take to get her out. Same thing with Ronald. He has been charged with 2 more counts of drug trafficking, and he faces now another $400,000 in bond, raising his total bond to $900,000, Nancy.
We are taking your calls live, and what I don't get, Art Harris, is don't these people realize they're being taped? They're being videoed. Don't they get it? All their phone calls, their meetings, unless it's with their lawyer or their preacher. It's all fair game for law enforcement.
Nancy, it was painful to watch them talking to their parents. You're waiting for them to say something else that incriminates themselves.
Take a listen to this.
Okay.
She said she would. She's gonna send you some money.
Okay. I'm on my way out of here. I want out so bad.
Well, I don't understand it, Art Harris.
Well, Nancy, what you have to understand is that this is not a normal relationship that you would think about, except if you were in high school. Police tell me that they have been secretly seeing each other, Misty and Ronald Cummings, for the last month. She has the tattoo of Ronald on her back, but he also dates other people. She dates other people, and for some reason, this is preoccupying part of the conversation between herself and her mother in jail.
Okay, Art, excuse my obvious ignorance on this, but a secret from who? Who are they keeping it a secret from? Neither one of them are married. Who cares? What's the secret?
No secret to me, but maybe they don't want, or Ronald doesn't want the public to know for some reason. Maybe he's afraid that they might imply or infer that they are in cahoots.
Well, you know what, Art? I appreciate that explanation, but the fact that they are on video selling dope together in a cop's car, you just described it.
Trafficking and prescription medications.
You know, Art Harris, I think where she's getting these figures from, they must have talked to a bail bondsman, because typically you have to put up 10% of your bond to get out. So 10% would be $100,000. I guess that's where they're getting the 50 from. I'm not sure.
In the past, Nancy, they have dealt with a local bail bondsman. They're very familiar with bail bondsmen because they have been in and out of jail, Hank, his father, and Tommy. And so, I know that I got curious because I heard a rumor that someone was trying to bail them out or was willing to put it up, and so I started making some calls, and the only person who I found was Leonard Padilla. He had been in touch with or left messages with her lawyer, who told me, Robert Fields, that he had been approached, he had messages left, but he had not called anybody back to talk about it.
But I think that there's a potential revelation here in Art's reporting, because what Art is talking about, he mentions a pimp named Jerome Williams, who was the sugar daddy to one of Ron Cummings' exes, that he supported this case.
Art Harris, is that true?
Well, I can tell you, Nancy, that investigators have quizzed him. He offered to actually use his drug network to get information about Haley and could not come up with anything. So he's been a disappointment. He is in the same jail Ron Cummings is, and there could be some interesting encounters if they do meet.
I know that on the night that she came up missing, there was talk about that they were not there when her brother...
Yes.
Okay. And that maybe they were at a party and maybe she had given Haley some drugs.
Right, oxycodone.
Did they, by any chance, drug test Junior?
That is an excellent question. What, if anything, do we know, Art Harris?
Nancy, I do not know if they did drug test Junior, but I know that he spoke with a child psychologist and has been interviewed by child welfare after the incident and said that he saw the man in black.
But back to you, Art Harris. Recall, she was describing doing laundry that evening, putting the children to bed, all sorts of things, taking a shower. If any of that was true, then she was not comatose.
Nancy, she was moving around if that's true. Now, we don't know that that is true. We really have no verification that anything happened except At a certain time, Haley vanished, and Misty says she had nothing to do with it.
To Art Harris, what do you make of it? You have been working with these people for months on end. Do you really think Ronald Cummings would have anything to do with the sale of his baby?
I just don't believe that. I don't want to believe it, Nancy. As you know, disreputable as he's proven to be, as much of a liar as he's proven to be about drugs, he loved his children. I got to believe that. And he was associating, though, Nancy, with some very dangerous people. As you know, look at all the drug dealers he helped Misty contact. And so in that world, anything is possible. I talked to the sheriff today. He says he's keeping all the options open, does not want tunnel vision.